Major issues plaguing the judiciary in Nigeria have again been highlighted. They include the historic low in the number of justices of the Supreme Court and the very poor remuneration of judges. While Chief Justice Olukaido Ariwoola says measures are in motion to appoint new judges to the apex bench, the pay of judges remains a matter of concern.
All right, we're now joined by Arise Judiciary Editor Tobi. Soniyi, thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you. Well, I mean, I guess when justices are retiring, it provides an opportunity for them to actually, burden their hearts about the goings-on within the judiciary. We heard from Amina Augi too, who raised, some concerns. But what do you make of the issues raised by, Justice Datijo there, especially on the remuneration of judges?
Yeah, he raised some very vital issues. Three of them. One, the remuneration, then that the take home. I mean, most people are not surprised if you are very close to the judiciary that the chief registrar earns more than a justice of the Supreme Court. This has been the case, and the body of bench, then led by Chief Wole Olanipeku, made frantic effort to persuade the former president, President Muhammadu Buhari then, to increase the salary of judges, but they couldn't push it through before he left. It's very correct. The salary of judges are poor, but to a larger extent, some of the problem, in my view, they are self-inflicted.
How?
Yeah, judges have opportunity to ask for more salary at their own level, but sometimes they waited for outsiders to argue their case for them. I understand. It's not very common with the judiciary. They are not supposed to be, to be hard. But when your welfare is involved, I'm not sure there is any law that stops them from, asking for a better remuneration.
And again, does it look like a deliberate attempt? Because now speaking generally, once you have such a discomforting salary that is not enough, you're prone to being influenced somehow. This doesn't actually...
Well, you can't rule it out because the judges go to the same markets politicians go, so they pay rent, they send children to school, they need to pay school fees.
Yeah.
If the salary isn't going to cover all this, they're going to look elsewhere to make the money. We cannot pretend about it. We cannot pretend that there is no corruption in the judiciary, and whether or not low salary is one of the factors causing it, we have to think it's possible, though in the evidence of absence of empirical facts, we still give them the benefit of the doubt. But no doubt about it, you made a very valid point. If your salary is low, you look for a way to augment it. So how do judges augment their salary?
Well, could that be the reason? Could that be the reason, or factor why they really hardly ever complained about their salaries, before now? Though the NBA is actually asking for about 300% rise in the present remuneration. How realistic is that figure? Are they likely to even get that?
You ask for more. If you ask for 300 and you get 200, it's something. It may not be realistic, but it is one. I think it's possible. It depends on if we have an executive that is committed to uplifting the judiciary, Sometimes the executives see the judiciary as a kind of interloper, and nobody wants to really lift them up. But judges too have to, like I said earlier, speak for themselves, make a case for themselves. Do salary comparisons. You can make a compelling case for yourself by coming out with statistics to prove that. Maybe we compare what we earn in Nigeria with Ghana, with South Africa, with London, and see which is lower.
You know, no doubt, Toby, that must be addressed. But again, one other issue that should be addressed, but surprisingly, is coming from the CJN. And we're talking about, we've highlighted this in the course of our programs here on Newsnight, and it has to do with the number of justices. And the CJN is concerned. But one would have thought that the CJN, who also heads the NJC, if I'm correct, then should be able to, with his team, nominate to the president to fill up that space. So why was he concerned at something that he can actually change?
You know, the problem is self-inflicted. The NJC, National Judicial Council, is empowered with the provision of the Constitution empower NJC to make recommendation to the president to appoint. The president cannot on his own just pick people. So as long as they sit there and bemoaning their problem and fail to send names of qualified judges or lawyers, because part of the problem too is that there's nothing stopping them from picking a professor, from picking a lawyer, even right from who has never been a judge. But they tend to always restrict themselves to restricting it to the Court of Appeal. So if they don't write to the president, they're never going to get new judges. I remember before he left, Justice Tanko in 2022 sent a list of 6 people to President Buhari. But how that one worked, it didn't work out. I'm not sure what transpired. The president didn't make the appointment before he left. But Ariwola, if we are counting now, must have been there for how many months now? And yet, he has yet to send a list to the president. So it is within their purview to appoint new justices. So
apparently the NJC has to up its game then, because it's within their purview. Tobi Soniyi, Judiciary Editor, Arise News, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be looking out for this, of course.